Welcome back to The Vegan View. Today we have a special guest, Jeanette from Basic Vegan Bitch, and today we're going to be talking about body image issues and how that relates to veganism.
I'm Dani.
I'm NISHA.
I'm Nicole.
I'm Hannah.
And this is
The Vegan View.
Cheers.
Our guest today is Jeanette from the YouTube channel Basic Vegan Bitch. Jeanette creates healthy vegan videos with tips ranging from vegan fashion to how to order vegan food at mainstream restaurants. She also helps run the Facebook group Whole Starch Low Fat, which focuses on eating healthy, whole plant foods, and she shares about her journey with veganism and weight loss on her popular Instagram page. Please help us welcome Jeanette. Have you experienced the pressure to be have the perfect fit body as a vegan because you want to be a good role model for veganism?
Definitely. It's something that I feel every time I post on Instagram, looking at the different angles of your body, being like, is someone going to judge me because I look a little poochy, my arms look a little fat? And it's all in my head too.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that you just have to kind of go with the flow and not be too hard on yourself.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I almost feel like as women and, a lot of men too, you already have that pressure to be thin or look a certain way. And then we go vegan, it's even more so because you want to represent the vegan lifestyle and you want people to go vegan, and everyone is selfish and wants to look good. So you're like, oh my gosh, if I look perfect, and maybe they'll want to do what I'm doing and go vegan. Yeah. So it's I feel like it adds even more pressure.
Come see how good I look, and you can look this good too if you go vegan.
Yeah.
But that's not always the case. I know for me, when I first went vegan, it was for me, it was all in my head. When I first went to this meetup, and I actually met everyone there, it was the Asina O'Neill meetup. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know who anyone was, so I looked up everyone's Instagrams, and I saw her and Bonnie, and I was just like, this is what vegan. Yeah. I was like, this is what vegan women look like, and I do not look like that. I am 5'3", barely, and they're just so beautiful on Instagram, and it's so hard to compare yourself because I had been vegan for around half a year then, and I just felt like I was just not vegan enough because I wasn't glowing skin, and I wasn't super happy with my weight at that time, and I felt like I almost didn't want to go because I was so ashamed of what other people thought of me.
Definitely.
And that was at a vegan meetup.
Yeah, and
interesting.
that was before I didn't even have an Instagram then.
Did you feel differently though after you went to the meetup?
Yeah, because I saw them in real life.
Yeah.
And they're normal sized people.
Yeah, totally normal.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is that both Bonnie and Asina, I don't want to speak on their behalf, but I'm going to, that they've also struggled with body image too. I think it's something that we all struggle with.
Yeah, and I think it's in our heads too. You always think that other people look so much better than you. Mm-hmm. And I remember when I first went vegan, I would watch Bonnie's videos, and I would just be like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna look like this because I went vegan. Mm-hmm. And then for me, I didn't change at all. I'm the same way I was before I went vegan. And I was kind of disappointed. I thought I would immediately, from eating fruits and vegetables all the time, become Bonnie Rebecca, and I didn't. But then afterwards, I was like, you know what? I don't look that much different from her. Everyone thinks someone else looks so much better.
Yeah. Well, and they're just super tall.
Yeah.
Too. You're not gonna grow 5 or 6 inches.
You can't see that on the computer screen,
right.
And everyone just wants to look like someone else.
Right, and I feel like it keeps you from wanting to tell people you're vegan, because I know we have a friend who's a little bit overweight and is kind of very self-conscious of telling people they're vegan because they think people will judge them based on how they look, and I feel like it really dishonors who you are as a person and the life you've been given and the power you've been given if you think that you're not worthy of sharing your compassion and your choice. Mm-hmm. Because you don't look perfect or what society thinks is perfect. I think even someone who's overweight, if you're a good person and compassionate about the vegan message, you're a good advocate for veganism. Has anyone ever made you feel discouraged from sharing about being vegan?
Yeah, you guys are looking at me because I haven't posted a YouTube video in 6 months. And it was because I had posted a video I forget what the video was about, stress or something. And at the time, I was a little heavier, and I just started lifting weights too. So I looked very bulky at the time, and someone actually made a YouTube video calling me fat and saying that I look a linebacker.
They made a whole YouTube video about that?
Yeah.
And this was another vegan. Like,
I don't even want to give them the attention.
Yeah.
I didn't even know. I didn't know it was a whole video. Good grief.
Yeah, luckily
I thought it was
it's
a comment.
It's been taken down
Oh,
at this
that's
point,
good.
so that's good. But at that point, I was like, I'm doing this to help people and to have fun and share the vegan message, not to
Yeah.
get harassed by someone. So I just wanted to take a break. But
The fact that someone thinks that the way someone's body looks is newsworthy disgusts me.
Yeah.
And especially that you make wonderful content. People love you.
Thank you.
And I know like when I don't post, my viewers get upset and sad that we're not like communicating. And I can't imagine with the scale of audience you have. Just that's so sad to me.
Yeah.
It is kind of sad. I also got a new job too in the mix. So
Well, then,
there's other
girl.
reasons.
she's been busy.
I'm really busy, but I also have missed it. So I'm hoping 2018 I'll be making my triumphant return to YouTube.
This is interesting though, because it's all kind of coming from this place that there is this expectation that vegans look a certain way, or that veganism is about weight loss, which really only talks about the diet part of being a vegan.
Right.
There's obviously so many other reasons to go vegan, but I think a lot of us here went vegan for health reasons in the beginning. And then, of course, like the animals and the environment, all that kind of comes with it as you learn. But I think so much of it was seeing these like healthy, supermodel looking girls online and thinking, I want that. And for me, when I went vegan, I lost 30 pounds, but I have gained some of that back, and then I've lost some of it, and then I've gained it back. And to be frank, and don't really like talking about this, but I don't really love my weight right now. I have a very stressful lifestyle. I don't sleep enough. I eat like processed food sometimes when I'm in a rush. I'm not like the healthiest I've been, and I feel sometimes like even when we were at Veg Fest, I felt super awkward because I was like meeting subscribers and stuff, and I was so excited about that, and I definitely focused on that. It wasn't all about being self-conscious, but there was a part of me that just wished I looked a little bit thinner and fitter and healthier because I was there representing like a healthy vegan channel, and it really messed with my head a little bit. Have you experienced that too?
100% have experienced that, being the poster child of WSLF and Mr. and Mrs. Vegan's like guinea pig. It's been very stressful anytime I do get, because there's so many factors that play, like you said, stress, like a loss of sleep, like all of that stuff can be a factor beyond your diet. So when that affects me and I'm not feeling the fittest that I could possibly be, like that's when you feel like, oh, I don't want to share, and then you kind of like bottle yourself up at that point.
It sucks because veganism is so much more than
What you look
what
like.
you look like.
Six-pack or something.
Like, it's a lifestyle, and I feel like if you've chosen, and it's not a decision you make lightly, and if you've chosen to make that step in your life, I feel like you should be so proud of yourself for doing that every single day, and you are a great example of someone living compassionately, and you should be proud of that. And it sucks that people only focus on the image part of it, I was telling them earlier that I feel like since having a baby, it's like made me look at my body completely differently. And I used to, look at other girls and be like, oh my gosh, I wish my stomach looked like that. I wish my butt looked like that. I wish my legs looked like that. And like at the end of the day, our bodies are just functioning like, human bodies. And if I can, walk up the stairs and like push a human life out of me, like that's just like, it's a body, and it's just, take good care of it and be healthy so that you feel good and you could be mobile. But like the way you look is just, I don't know, it's just so,
your body's just a picture frame for your personality.
Yeah, like, I don't know.
That's the star of the show.
Yeah, that's really cool. I don't know, it's just like so silly to me that people focus on that so much now.
And I know so many people who are embarrassed of their skin because it's like they think they're wearing all their mistakes on their face. But like skin is so much more than just what you eat. I mean, that's a huge proponent. And like, even if it is only what you're eating that's making you break out, like that doesn't negate who you are as a person or make you a bad person. Like human beings are intrinsically flawed. We make mistakes all the time. We do bad things. But the thing that separates us from just terrible, horrible people is that we're always trying to do better.
But it can be hard though. Like that's another thing. Since we're talking about all my insecurities right now, I am also breaking out because I went off birth control a couple of months ago, and my body's been like just all over the place.
So much more.
But I have a ton. I have a lot of makeup on.
Yeah,
but
hormones.
I have a ton of like hormonal breakouts all the time. It's not just like when I get my period. It's all the time. And it's also one of those things where, like, as a vegan, I feel like I'm supposed to have clear skin. I'm supposed to have, like, healthy hair and all this stuff. And it's like, I usually do, and sometimes I do, but your body, like, I'm going to be vegan for the rest of my life. There's going to be, like, seasons of stress and hormone fluctuations and weight gain and weight loss and where I'm exercising all the time and when I'm not. And especially, like, as someone who's had an eating disorder, it's really important for me in terms of, like, managing my health to be really, like, not even loving towards myself, but like kind of almost like the way a mother would be towards a child. I feel like there's like a child in me and a mother in me, and I always try to like let the mother take over when I'm feeling anxious, because the mother in me just like wants me to be taken care of and like wants me to slow down and like take the pressure off myself.
I feel like a lot of us have this common feeling of feeling like we have to have a certain body for other people, like for veganism. And I feel that too sometimes, especially with my group of girlfriends. I have some who are just more naturally fit. They were just born that way. And people are always asking them what they eat, how they get abs like that and things like that. Whereas I think I'm just a different person with a different body makeup, that my body's going to be different than theirs. But personally, I think I eat a healthier diet that's better for the world. But I feel like if it weren't for those outer expectations, I would be very happy with my body, because I, before going vegan, had a really bad relationship with food. I wouldn't say I had an eating disorder or anything like that, but I just didn't understand. I love to eat so much, and I still love to eat a lot. I eat huge portions. I've just always been that way since I was a kid. And so going, like, you know, after college was when I started to gain weight, and I was trying to figure out how to lose weight, and I'd ask people who were fitness trainers and things like that, and they'd say, well, you can't eat fruit because fruit has sugar, you can't eat carbs, you can't eat this, you can't eat that, you can't eat avocado, so many things that I'm like, what do I eat then? My mind was exploding. I felt like I literally couldn't eat anything, and it was basically grilled chicken and veggies is what you could eat. And honestly, eating grilled chicken made me nauseous. Like, it always made me nauseous. I never liked the taste of grilled chicken. And I just remember feeling so sad and defeated. And we talked about it earlier, how you feel like you have no self-control because you are looking at other people who are skinnier than you or more fit than you, and they must have it together. They must have more self-control than you, because I couldn't do it. I couldn't eat. I could go about a week of eating the grilled chicken and the veggies, and then I'd be like, I can't do it anymore. And I'd binge and eat all the junk food, In-N-Out, and all the candy and stuff like that.
And that makes you binge more because you feel like I already don't have the mechanism inside me that the skinny, healthy people have. So I might as well just eat whatever I want, because who cares?
It's sad. And I feel like going vegan just kind of freed me from all of that, because now I eat as much as I want, and I know that what I'm eating is healthy food. It's good for me. It's not harming anybody. And occasionally I'll be like, have a sweet tooth and I'll eat an entire bag of candy, but I never have that kind of urge to binge like I did before I was vegan. So in a personal way, this has been so good for my body image, because I don't care as much what I look like on the outside, because I know I'm so much better on the inside, both physically and mentally.
So we've talked a lot about things and inadequacies that we see. What about things that people see and that aren't really there, like in terms of body dysmorphia?
So when I went vegan, I lost probably about 20 pounds, and I like continued that trajectory of like getting thinner and thinner and thinner. And I remember like one point that I was like, I still am not happy with what I look like, my body. I still think I'm fat. Like, how much thinner do I need to get to make myself feel better? And like, it would be to the point where I was unhealthy. So after that point, that's when I kind of started doing the opposite of the body dysmorphia of like, okay, I'll just kind of like, and that's when my weight started, I started to gain weight again too. And at that point, like, I was just like, I'm going to feel fat no matter what. And so it's just more about figuring out like what the deeper cause of that feeling is, and trying to look at that and not, I don't know, like I would look in the mirror and think that I was fat, and I wasn't fat at all. And it's just, you have to get to the point where you are being really like honest with yourself and saying, hey, like, you're not fat, and or if if you're the opposite too.
Yeah, I was like, I think I have the opposite problem because I'll be gaining weight and I'm like, oh, I think I still look the same. You're like, scale must be broken.
I'm looking good today.
I think that's an awesome way to be, just as long as it's not like negatively impacting your health. Like,
Right.
I think it's positively affecting your health because you're so comfortable and confident. I think that's amazing.
Or you're not even thinking about it.
Yeah.
Too. Like that's the best. Like the best way is to just live your life and not have to worry about weight and what you're eating 24/7.
Yeah.
No, I definitely think I had that at some point in time because I was like a bigger kid, and then I lost like a lot of weight through puberty, and then like I still felt like I was like a chubbier person. And it's not until recently, now I'm like a full-grown adult and I don't care about that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, it's like you carry that like inner feelings of
It's
being,
like the fat kid mentality.
yeah, you never really lose that until you work on yourself.
I feel like pretty much from high school, maybe like late high school to like college and after college and then till I went vegan, I kind of always had this like down. I was just so down on myself, thinking that I was fat or not skinny enough or not in shape enough, and I always had these thoughts. But I think one thing that's good to do is like, if I now look back at the high school me, I'm like, wow, girl, you looked great. Like you were looking good. And then I look back at my college pictures and I'm like, you looked good. And at all those stages of life, I did not think that about myself. I thought that I was overweight and like I needed to be skinnier. So I think it's about embracing and like being happy with what you have and in that moment, because 10 years from now, you're going to look back and be like, wow, I looked amazing. And yeah, just appreciate the moments that you have with your body at each stage in life.
And I was watching this thing with Betty White, this interview with Betty White, and she said the best advice her mom ever gave her was to not be that girl who like looks back, 20 years later and was like, oh, I was so beautiful, and you never got to enjoy it. You never got to enjoy how healthy and mobile and active and, all those things that you were. So I'm trying to... Even just little things
My
like
mom
Instagram
says that to
stories
me all the time. I'm just thinking about that.
Really?
Aww.
Yeah, it's so good just to be, and it helps you just be grateful too, because it's like the way you look isn't that important, but
Being healthy.
Yeah, being healthy and being grateful for that.
Yeah, and just focusing on progress and not perfection.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Perfection is the enemy of progress. I feel like we say that a lot, but it's so true.
I think it helps to know that like literally everyone is insecure about something too. And it's just crazy how you were saying, like, I look back at pictures of when I was like 20 years old and I have like literally no fat on my body, but in the moment, like I was still insecure about the same things that are my insecurities now.
Yeah.
So everyone is feeling it. Don't like look at someone and think that they're like 100% confident, because no one is, and it's just life.
And like sharing pictures of your body on social media, I feel is so, I don't know if everyone feels like this, but when I see someone who like looks like me and talks about the same insecurities that like I have, it makes me feel so much more connected to the world. And I just feel like, oh my gosh, okay, everyone doesn't think they're perfect. Like it's not only me, it's fine. Like I know Bonnie just talked about how she like always feels really self-conscious in pictures of her midsection, and hers is fine. Like I would never even think that, but just to know that someone that I think is like so gorgeous feels like that is so comforting to me.
Love to hear what you all think about veganism and how you have felt with your body image since going vegan. So please let us know in the comments down below. And make sure you go follow Jeanette. She has an awesome YouTube channel and Instagram, Basic Vegan Bitch. And thank you so much for watching today's episode, and come hang out with us on Facebook because we have a really cool Facebook group. And we will see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.